Hello, Alabama. Are some recruits leaving Bama? That's strange. What's going on at Bama? Another one has gone to the transfer portal. Let's get to the news, but first subscribe to the channel. Alabama is experiencing moments of transformation and challenges this season, marked by unexpected changes in the roster. The departure of linebacker Keanu Koht to the NCAA transfer portal is a reflection of this. This is the second player to choose to seek new horizons, raising questions about the depth and roster management of the Crimson Tide, one of the most iconic programs in college football. Keanu Koht, a prospect who arrived at Alabama in 2021 with high expectations, seemed to finally be on the radar for a more relevant role next year. However, the reality on the field was different. Drafted as the third option in the Wolf, behind Quaruso and K. Robinson, his contribution this season was limited to 7 games, accumulating 5 tackles and 1 sack. It wasn't the impact many expected from a player with his potential, but the context is important. Koht's decision to leave the program comes after his suspension, an episode that remains shrouded in mystery. Coach Kalen DeBoer, in his characteristic approach, avoided delving into the details. "He wasn't with us," DeBoer said bluntly, leaving no room for excessive speculation. It's a stance that demonstrates his ability to deal with sensitive issues objectively, while maintaining the focus on the collective. Looking ahead, Koht's departure leaves room for reflection within the Crimson Tide. On the one hand, there is a loss of talent, especially in an area as demanding as the linebacker core. On the other, the decision reinforces the importance of the culture and internal competitiveness that DeBoer seeks to establish. On a team where performance and dedication are constantly tested, players who don't fit in or don't excel end up finding new paths. For Koht, this is an opportunity for a fresh start. He enters the transfer portal with 2 years of eligibility remaining and a chance to prove himself at another program. It's always a mixed bag to see a promising athlete leave, but college football is, above all, a dynamic cycle of arrivals and departures. For Alabama, each departure is an opportunity for renewal, and for Koht, it's a chance to seek the prominence that might not have been possible in Tuscaloosa. At the center of it all is Kalen DeBoer, a coach who has shown resilience and adaptability. Since taking over the program, he has faced challenges with the determination of someone who understands what it means to lead an institution like Alabama. It's not just about winning, something that, of course, is in the Crimson Tide's DNA, but also about building a solid and sustainable foundation. The season is far from over, and Alabama continues its quest for glory and consistency. While the spotlight now turns to other players on the roster, there is a sense that change, as difficult as it may be, is part of the process of evolution. DeBoer and his coaching staff are faced with the challenge of not only filling the gaps left behind, but also showing that the program remains as strong and committed as ever. For fans, Koht's departure may be a reminder that college football is as unpredictable as it is exciting. But if there's one thing Alabama's history teaches us, it's that the Crimson Tide always finds a way to come back stronger. Let's keep going. Alabama's defense, under defensive coordinator Kane Womack, continues to establish itself as one of the most disciplined and efficient in the country. And much of that is due to a practice that has become Womack's trademark, the keys to victory. It's a seemingly simple but profoundly effective system that goes beyond statistical metrics and becomes a philosophy that permeates the team's mindset. Womack doesn't just lay out these keys, he crafts them with surgical precision, tailoring them to the week's opponent. Clear guidelines, like stopping the run, impacting the quarterback, or creating takeaways, shape the team's focus. But the real difference is how these goals don't just exist on paper, but become part of the defense's identity, what he calls the Swarm D. For Womack, it's more than strategy, it's culture. These things are part of who we are as a defense, he explains. The weekly routine that underpins this philosophy is another key pillar. The keys are introduced on Monday and reinforced throughout the week of practice, culminating in a thorough review on Sunday where each player is confronted with the crucial question: Did we meet our goals? It's a constant learning cycle that keeps Alabama's defense evolving week after week. The impact of this approach is evident in recent results. Against LSU, for example, two of the keys were stopping the run game and pressuring the quarterback. Not only did the Crimson Tide limit the Tigers to 104 rushing yards, but they also put Garrett Nussmeier in uncomfortable situations, resulting in 3 sacks and 2 turnovers. It was a performance that exemplified what Alabama linebacker Jihad Campbell describes as creating killer habits. This aggressive, focused and disciplined mindset is what turns a good defense into a dominant unit. The players also recognize the practical and psychological value of this methodology. For Captain Malachi Moore, the keys are a clear guide, a constant reminder that each practice has a defined purpose. It gives you a sense of what you need to work on that week, he said. More than that, it's a system that holds each player accountable, connecting their efforts in practice to results on the field. It's no surprise, then, that Alabama's defense is reaping the rewards of this approach. With 3 of its best performances in a row this season, the unit has climbed to 10th nationally in scoring defense, allowing just 16.9 points per game. That consistency isn't just a reflection of raw talent, but of meticulous preparation and collective commitment. And it's reflected in the players' trust in their coaches. Zabian Brown summed it up best when he said, "Our staff and coaches do a great job of preparing us. They put us in positions to make plays." That trust, fueled by clear systems as the keys to winning, is what gives the Crimson Tide a competitive edge in such a tight national landscape. With Womack's leadership, Alabama's defense is not only a force on the field, but an example of how the combination of culture, preparation and execution can shape an elite team. Let's keep going, Bama can always be better. While the recruiting seemed problematic, it has solutions on the other hand. After facing a series of challenges in recruiting, it is once again showing why it is a powerhouse in college football. The news of the commitment of 4-star safety Ivan Taylor, previously committed to Michigan, is a breath of fresh air for a program that has seen 3 players decommit recently. The arrival of Taylor, ranked as the number 7 safety and number 64 overall player in the 2025 recruiting cycle, is more than a win. It is a statement that the Crimson Tide are still an irresistible force on the national stage. Taylor, the son of former NFL cornerback Ike Taylor, cited the environment and the fit as the main reasons for his change of commitment. "I think I will fit in better there," he explained. His experience in the game against Georgia, described as electric and unforgettable, seemed to seal the decision. Not only did he see the passion of the fans at Bryant-Denny Stadium, but he also got a taste of what it means to be part of a culture that breathes football. For Alabama, Taylor's commitment is not just a technical addition to the team, but a reaffirmation of the recruiting power under coach Kalen DeBoer. Even in a season of ups and downs in the recruiting market, the program has demonstrated resilience and focus. Despite briefly falling to number 4 in the recruiting rankings, the Crimson Tide quickly reclaimed ground, surpassing rivals such as Georgia and LSU to now rank number 2 behind only Ohio State. With Taylor, Alabama's 2025 defensive group gains a key piece. He joins an already impressive class that includes 4 5-star recruits, including cornerback Dijon Lee. Taylor's versatility and ability on the field promise to complement the secondary alongside talents such as Lee and Chuck McDonald. Being the only safety on the roster also puts Taylor in a unique position to excel and thrive under the guidance of one of the nation's top coaching staffs. The impact of this commitment extends beyond the field. After a period of speculation surrounding Alabama's recruiting, Taylor brings a newfound energy and optimism. It's a symbolic win over rising rival Michigan and a reminder that even in challenging times, the Crimson Tide still has the appeal to attract elite talent. The fact that Alabama was able to turn around a player as promising as Taylor is a testament to the continued work DeBoer and his staff have put into building and maintaining a world-class program. For fans, Taylor's arrival represents hope and excitement. He's not just a highly rated recruit, he's an athlete who already seems to understand the weight and responsibility of wearing a Crimson Tide uniform. His enthusiasm for the Alabama environment and culture is a reflection of what draws so many others to Tuscaloosa, the chance to be a part of something bigger. As the 2025 class continues to take shape, Ivan Taylor's commitment is a major milestone. It solidifies the defense as an area of future strength and reaffirms that Alabama remains at the top of its game when it comes to competing for the best talent in the country. Recruiting season isn't over yet, but with decisions like this, the Crimson Tide continues to shape a very creative future for everyone on the team. Another name is now rising in linebacker Isaiah Williams. The 2026 prospect, ranked as the 16th best linebacker in the nation and the 31st ranked player in the state of Florida, has officially released his list of 8 top schools, including Alabama. This is yet another opportunity for Kalen DeBoer and his staff to showcase their ability to attract elite talent, even amid fierce competition from SEC rivals and other college football powerhouses. Williams, with his impressive physique, is an athlete who combines physical strength with versatility on the field. His performance as a junior at Tavares High School, where he recorded 137 tackles, 22 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, plus defenses in the passing game and an interception, exemplifies exactly the type of player who fits into Alabama's defensive system. He's not just a traditional linebacker, his coverage ability and impact at the line of scrimmage make him a complete defender and a strategic asset for any program. While Alabama is competing with heavyweights like LSU, Florida, and Kentucky, as well as renowned programs like USC and Miami, the Tide's track record of developing elite linebackers could be a deciding factor in attracting Williams. Under the leadership of DeBoer and defensive coordinator Kane Womack, Alabama's defense has a reputation for preparing athletes not only for college success, but also for NFL careers. That combination of coaching development and high-level exposure is hard to ignore. Williams' reopening of recruiting after initially committing to Florida State in September puts Alabama in a prime position to seize the opportunity. The Tide's presence on their final list is not only a reflection of the player's interest, but also the tireless work of DeBoer's recruiting staff. Keeping Alabama in the running for a talent like Williams, especially in a class that is still under construction, demonstrates the program's long-term vision. Despite still being early in the 2026 recruiting cycle, Alabama has already begun planting the seeds for a promising class. With just one commitment so far, defensive lineman Vodney Cleveland, the program still sits at number 39 in the recruiting rankings. However, recent visits to Tuscaloosa, including wide receivers Brody Keefe and Christian Ward, safety Kentavian Anderson and runner Brylon Tubbs, signal that the work to shape the class is well underway. The inclusion of Williams on the Crimson Tide roster also reflects the power of the game day experience in Tuscaloosa. Events like the recent home game against Mercer, which brought a crop of talent to campus, are key to leaving a lasting impression on players and showing them what it means to be a part of Alabama. The vibrant atmosphere, combined with the elite infrastructure and tradition of excellence, often tips the scales in the Tide's favor. While Isaiah Williams' recruiting journey is far from over, Alabama's presence among his final options is a positive indicator for the program. The coaching staff's dedication to identifying and connecting with versatile players like Williams further cements the Crimson Tide's commitment to remaining a dominant force in college football. I'd love to hear from you. Your feedback is important.